Hello everyone and a very good evening to you. I'm Dr. Bhatia, and as we had promised earlier, we are going to do a little bit of learning on AI for doctors. So from the WhatsApp group that we had, the maximum request came, how would I use ChatGPT in my practice and how can I actually use ChatGPT? Some people even wrote about covering the basics. Since this is the first video of this series, I'm going to cover a lot of basics here first because my intention is that everybody should be on the same page. So while I know that everybody has been using ChatGPT to some extent, let's cover some basics so that we all know that we all know what we know, and that will help us build onto it in the subsequent lessons and lectures. So let's start. I am sharing my screen here, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is I use two monitors. So most of the time I'm going to be looking a little away from the camera because my monitor is in this direction, and I'll be working on that. So if it looks awkward, do let me know. I'll try to improve my camera positioning or something. But let's start. So we all know ChatGPT is an LLM. We also all know that utilizing it is great, and everybody has used it like a chatbot. But today I'm going to take you a little bit deeper into how you can utilize that. So let's start and see. Uh, so I'm going to open Chrome first of all, and here we'll go to typical what chatbots that we see, ChatGPT, let's say chatgpt.com. So this is a typical thing that you usually see. What you'll come across. You can ask something here, what is pi, and it will give you some answer. So this is typically what we all are used to. And if we want, we can even log in or sign up and and the limits will go away. Some of the limits will go away. But eventually, what one needs to realize is that there are certain limitations of how much chatting can you do on a chatbot. What you really need in day-to-day practice is a point of a point of service or a point where you are working. At that point, you should be able to utilize the AI. So we'll go to a new link inside OpenAI, and why we are going there, I'll show you once we reach. So I'm going to open this link called Chat Playground. Just see the URL here. The URL is this. Right now it's saying platform.openai.com/chat/ something something. You don't have to worry about it. All you need to do is go to platform.openai.com. That's it. Okay. And I'm already logged in here, but if you don't have an account, you can create a free account with Google or something. Just create a free account. Don't worry on paying right in the beginning. And then once you are here, you will understand the difference between how to utilize ChatGPT like this. Okay. So now what you're seeing may look like a little complex and technical screen, but don't worry about it. This is actually very, very simple. Now, on the left side, what you can see is chat, audio, images, and assistants. Now, these are the four services that OpenAI is offering you right now. And apart from that, the most important thing that I would like to talk about is the API keys. So we'll go to the API keys and see why do you need them. But first, let's just see what can we do in the chat part. It says here, create a chat. So now why it says create a chat prompt is because this is slightly different and more capable than what you do on just a ChatGPT free version. I'm just clicking create a chat. Now here what we see is a model, then there's a system message and a prompt message. Normally this is something that we do not do at all. We in ChatGPT we just go and write something like here that what is the value of pi, and let's see how it responds. So it just gives a reply. This is a generic chatbot happening. But here we can make it a specialist. So let's say, since we are all medicos and healthcare professionals, let's say we want this to be a pathologist who can give a second opinion on our slides. So we can generate a system message here by clicking on this. I'll click and I'll say, your role would be to act as a senior and experienced pathologist and an onco-immunologist, and junior doctors will ask your opinion about various pathology conditions and may even ask you for second opinions on their reports. And your job will be to be compassionate and guide the junior doctors and tell them only what you know. Do not go out of your knowledge base. So this is the instruction that I have given for creating the prompt. This is not the whole prompt. This is just the instruction to create the prompt. So I'll say create here. It's going to take a while and it is going to generate a prompt which will make this particular chat instance start behaving like a pathologist. So now you can see it has brought in a long thing. You are acting as a senior you are acting as a senior and experienced pathologist and onco-immunologist. Junior doctor will do this. This is your response. This is the output format. What should your length be? What is the examples? What is your output reasoning conclusion? And I mean, it's a long one right now. We'll not change it, but once you get used to it, you can even fine tune this and you can say, okay, this is too long or this is not giving me the desired result. So you can change this also. And here there's a prompt message which is again going to act on top of this one. Okay, so here we can give it a specific task. For example, here I would like to say, I'm going to ask you a few questions about a particular report that I need to generate and I am having doubts about it. Since you are a senior pathologist, please guide me how to generate a pathology report on that condition. Okay, I've just written a prompt message here. I'll just say save. And now here, like in the chatbot, now I'll go and say something like, I have received a slide of lymph node biopsy and I am doubting that there may be a possibility of Hodgkin's lymphoma. Can you tell me what is the diagnostic criteria from the slide of diagnosing Hodgkin's lymphoma? Now, this is the question that I've just thought of. So let's see how it responds and we'll say go. So here it starts off that when you are evaluating a lymph node for Hodgkin's lymphoma biopsy, you have to check for RS cells and reactive and the surrounding reactive background. RS cells are large and this and that. You can talk about this. And a typical immunophenotype of RS cell in CHL includes positivity for CD30 and CD15. So it is practically giving you advice as a senior pathologist, and this is what you needed. So this was the step one, where we said, okay, instead of going just to ChatGPT, we go inside OpenAI and create our own account, and this is what comes out where you can do much more advanced discussions with the AI. Now, for you, I just created a pathologist. Similarly, you can also create a cook. Actually, if you want, you can. If you want to just ask for the recipe of dum aloo, maybe let's. And this is not really for a doctor. This can be for anybody. But I'm just trying to show you the versatility of it. That your role would be to be a senior cook, and you need to teach the user how to cook a certain dish and give guidance on the recipe. Remember that the user is Indian, and if I say this, it will create a similar prompt for even the recipes and everything. We'll not go deep into it, but I wanted to just show you the versatility. Now, why am I taking you on this page? So you can see it act as a senior cook for each guide, clearly list ingredients and blah blah. So it basically creates a good prompt for doing, sets up some examples and all that. Why did I bring you here is because if you buy a paid package of ChatGPT or anybody else, the cost is high. So as an example, earlier it used to be like almost 2000 rupees a month. For India now, there has been a special launch by OpenAI, which is costing just about 400 rupees a month, and that is reasonably cheap. But my point is, in I'm paying much lesser than that, and I'm doing much more than what the ChatGPT window can do. How? I'll show you. Over the period of last 3 years, if we see, I'm just going to show you my billing. Uh, okay, billing history. Yeah. So you can see that in my billing history from December 22 till now, which is September 25, in almost 3 years, what I have paid is 12 and 12 24 and 24 48 and 24 is what 72 and 12 $84. Now this I have not counted because right now this whole money is still sitting here. So uh, in 3 years, I have paid how much? $84, right? And $84 translated to today's exchange rate is something like 7,000 rupees. So divided by 3, that is like 2,000 plus per year. Let's say 2,500 per year. Let's say it works out to be 200 rupees per month. So it is literally half of what the ChatGPT console is going to charge you. And this I have been doing for last 3 years when they were charging 2000. Now it will be even cheaper. And I'm doing much more advanced level of work with that. And as you know, since I'm the professional in this AI thing, I naturally do it all day long. Now, what we'll do is we'll see how to utilize it outside the console. So let's go to API keys, and that's where the whole beauty begins. So what is an API key? API key is basically a kind of very long sentence of long string of letters and numbers, which is a kind of password which it generates, and you can also see and copy it only once. And that password, when you give to some other software, then it is able to link in the backend to OpenAI, ChatGPT, and bring you the output of that. So you would say, I mean, how is it different that I'm using it in a chatbot window or some other software is going to utilize my API key and bring the answer? That I'm going to show you. Now, first of all, we'll create a new secret key. So I'll just click on this. Now here you have to give just a name and a default project and say create secret key. So let's do it here, testing. And it has created a really long key. It's not even fully seen here, but I'm going to delete it anyway because this is supposed to be a secret. I'll copy it. I'll say done. Once I click done, I can never see it again. That's why it was important to copy it. And now you can see 4th September 25, I have created these two keys today, which I'm never going to use. So I'm going to delete them anyway from here. Yeah, I have removed so that nobody can steal it and use it on my system at my cost. But now when I use it through the API, the cost is going to become much lower and the application of this ChatGPT will become much, much bigger. How will we do that? Let's see. So till now what we have done is we have seen how the ChatGPT console works. We have seen that we'll log in into OpenAI's platform. Inside we can do more advanced chatting or we can go and get an API key. Now you must pay something to them because minimum $5 or something. And believe me, it's going to last you a long time. As I showed you that I've been using $84 for last 3 years. So 12, 36 months, $84. That comes to like $2 to $3 a month. So I think that's a fair price. So you can just pay $5 and start off. Now once you have the API key, store it somewhere safe. Now how will we use it is we will have different softwares which can utilize this API key and do something for us. Now what is that something that I'm going to show you? Let's go to let's say I'll open a blank document instead of but imagine that it's going to be a let's say an email thing. So let me open a text. Okay. So imagine now that I'm typing an email. I'm very angry with one of my employees. So I'll start with I'm really frustrated with this guy. He doesn't know what to do. I think I should fire him. I am very, very angry and he has no respect for me and he takes so much money but doesn't do any work. I'm very angry. Okay, so this is what I have written in my anger. And obviously, this is not very professional, and I should not be sending this email to anybody. But if I want to make it a refined and nice kind of an email, what I'll have to do is I'll have to copy this and then go to ChatGPT, then tell ChatGPT that make it sound nicer and paste this, and then ChatGPT will give me an output which I'll again copy, bring it back here and paste it, right? But the software that I'm using, which is using the ChatGPT's API key, can do it right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this and I'm going to press two magic buttons. And here it says, what do you want to do basically with this? So first of all, I will say, rewrite this in friendly tone or a professional tone because this is not nice. So I'll say rewrite in professional tone. Now you can see this thinking. So it is actually thinking right now and it has done the work. And below this I'm going to copy so that you can compare. So instead of what I wrote, this was what I wrote, and now it has said, I am deeply dissatisfied with this employee's performance. Their lack of competence is impacting productivity, and I am considering terminating their employment. So you can see that it is already much more refined, and this has come from OpenAI. Now I want to do more things with this. So once again, I'm going to press the magic button, and I'm going to say, translate to Hindi. Now this will convert this whole thing into Hindi, and here it is. So मैं इस कर्मचारी के प्रदर्शन से बहुत असंतुष्ट हूँ. उनकी अक्षमता उत्पादकता को प्रभावित कर रही. इतनी हिंदी even we don't speak, but like I'm just giving an example. It can do it, right? Now the next thing is I actually wanted to write a mail on this, and that's why I was angry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to say that generate an email which I can send to, maybe I'm sending it to the hospital's supervisor or somebody. So I'll generate an email based on this. Yeah. And here is the email. So you can see it has generated such a long email here. Subject, dear so and so, I am writing to express my serious concern, blah blah. Specifically this thing, beyond the performance issues, and sincerely your name and all. So it has done this much. Now, can you do all this with OpenAI's ChatGPT console? Yes, you can. But this is point of service AI. Where you are working, the AI is present right there at that moment for you. And this is what this software is doing for me. So now I'll introduce you to the name of the software. There's no payment or anything from their side. This is just what I use, and there are multiple ones which you can use. This one is called Bolt. So in Bolt, what happens is if we go into the settings, we can say providers and say OpenAI, and that API key which we copied from there, that one we paste here. And then say we want default model as GPT-4 or something, whatever I'm using, 4o mini, and that's it. And just save the changes. And if this is your default, then every time you do that Alt B, which is my shortcut for anything, I'll go to the document again. Let's say this particular paragraph I'm not liking, so I just say Alt B, and all these commands they come up, and I can say simplify my writing or fix spelling and grammar or whatever I want. I can ask it to do it, and I can even say list action items or something, and it will do it using that particular. So you can see it has created action items with checkboxes here which can be clicked, right? So it does all that. Now, how will you achieve this? So first of all, you can explore, if you are using Mac, then Bolt AI is one of the commonest ones. Otherwise, there is something called Elephas, Elephas, and there are similar ones available for Windows also, which I do not remember. But let's do a perplexity check. So here I am using the Comet browser of Perplexity with an assistant, and here I am going to say what are the alternatives available for Windows operating system similar to Bolt AI or Elephas softwares. I must make sure the spellings are right. Bolt AI and Elephas is spelled wrong here. So I'll make it right, Elephas, and then I'll say go. And let's see what is Perplexity telling us. There are some alternatives for Windows. Closest ones are Misty, Anything LLM, Open Web UI, Jan, and there are so many. So I'm sure you'll be able to explore the ones if you are a Windows user. If you are a Mac user, you can use either Elephas or something. Now the cost, both are paid software. So you would otherwise be paying $20 a month or 400 rupees a month to OpenAI. Here you can use that the money that you save you can utilize for any of these kind of softwares, and they will help you do a point of service AI. Now another very good point of service AI is something which is brought in by Notion. So that also I want to show you because I'm also building an EMR in Notion, which will be for clinics and independent practices. And that is a point of service AI which whatever you are typing, it can help you out. So let me give you a small demo of a point of service as well. So this is Notion, and those of you who are not familiar with it, you can just type Notion in Google, and Notion is basically a note-taking software, but it is highly advanced, but not technically complex. So people who use it are not supposed to be technical people or something. Well, I'll just create a new page here. I'll say testing AI. Okay. So we'll open this new page, and here now let us say we had this same issue, same thing like I have received a slide of lymph node biopsy and I'm doubting that there may be a possibility of Hodgkin's lymphoma. Can you tell me what is the diagnostic criteria from the slide of diagnosing Hodgkin's lymphoma? Now here, this is the AI button which they have, and they allow us, they allow us to choose between Claude or GPT-5. I usually choose Auto so that it can do whatever it wants. Now, apart from this chatbot kind of thing which comes, you can even select and say ask AI. Okay, so I can ask anything here, and I'll actually ask something like, what is the main feature in pathology for a Hodgkin lymphoma lymph node biopsy slide? And now it is thinking. The main diagnostic features are Reed-Sternberg cell, cellular background, lymph node architecture. So everything that you wanted, it is there, and it even says insert below. So if I click on insert below, that whole thing has come here. As you can see, I'll just color it up for you. So you can see, this is the part which the AI generated. and immediately it has put it up here. So if I am preparing a report or something like that, this is very easy. If I am going to do, let's say, a further thesis report or something like this, so I want to write something on Hodgkin's lymphoma, right? So let's just say Hodgkin lymphoma, and I need some details about it which I don't know myself, or I'm too lazy to pick it out. So I'll just say ask AI, and I'll say write a short note on Hodgkin's lymphoma of maximum 100 words. Talk about its age of onset, the main symptoms the patients may suffer from, and the presentation to the doctor, and what should be the immediate first action when a doctor is suspecting Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I have asked the AI to do this, and imagine that this is the thesis that I'm writing, or this is the paper that I'm creating, and this is a very boilerplate stuff. This is not something which I'm going to create. So it has created something. Let's insert it and let's color it a little and see what it has written for us. It says Hodgkin lymphoma is a cancer affecting young adults. This is a short note, remember. Patients typically present with painless and large lymph nodes. Common symptoms include fever, night sweat, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, etc. And when a physician suspects Hodgkin lymphoma, the immediate first action should be excisional lymph node biopsy for histopath, or and looking for RS cells. So you see, where I'm working, there itself I'm getting the benefit of AI. I'm not shifting windows, I'm not typing something completely new, and I'm getting the benefit of this. So this is the importance of point of service AI. Money wise, as you will see, the same amount of money which you're going to spend on OpenAI's chatbot, the same amount of money you can spend on getting the getting the API and using one of the tools, or you can use Notion. Notion is slightly more expensive, but then it is also state of the art. So I think Notion right now with AI is $20 a month, which works out to be something like 1800 rupees a month. But then if you are doing a lot of written work, this is a great support for you. So this is just the first video that I have built in which I am trying to show you the possibilities with AI. And since you guys had written, the maximum number of people had voted that how to use ChatGPT in my own practice or in my day-to-day working. So I thought we'll start with this. This is the most basic thing, and I'm actually quite sure that half of you would already know everything that I've told here. But the other half, which doesn't know, it is for the benefit of them. And if you guys would write more topics in the WhatsApp group, I'll be able to create videos which are more and more relevant. Send me your problems that you're facing. Send me the issues or wherever you are getting stuck using AI, and I'll create videos which are actually going to help you handle all that. Okay, so this is the first one. Not gonna be perfect, of course. So I would really love some feedback. I would really love the topics that you want me to cover, and if I'm covering it right or wrong, am I comprehensible to you or not? So give me feedback on that. Okay. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for this watching this video, and let's hope we are able to continue this series fruitfully. Okay. Bye bye.